Welcome back. You're watching Wizards of the Street. This is a precursor to the show which has aired for over 15 years now, and the next series begins on the 21st of November. So do stay tuned in for that. And we have the man himself, Ramesh Damani, who's going to be featuring several veterans, market experts on his show. Ramesh, tell us a little bit about who's going to feature on your show, what stands out, what are their market leanings?
Sure, Sonia, thank you for asking me that. The first wizard I interviewed in 2005 was, of course, Mr. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. Yeah. And unfortunately, it's ironical and bittersweet, he's no longer with us. So, and because he has such an important voice for the financial markets, I felt I'd give him an all-star tribute. So we're getting a lot of interesting guests, two-part series to pay a tribute to Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, including his favorite CEO, Bhaskar Bhatt, is promising to join us. So that would be very good. Then we're also going to reach out overseas and talk to a few people overseas. So
before that, I had to mention this because I remember last October we interviewed Rakesh at his home, and at that time Bitcoin I think was at $60,000 thereabout. It was raging, and I asked him this question. I said, "It's the new age investment. Anyone and everyone's investing in Bitcoin. What about you?" And he said, "I don't even want to talk about Bitcoin." And that was his conviction, right? It was, and he said,
you don't have to join every party in town. I remember that interview. That was an excellent interview, Sonia. So we'll try to look back, reflect on his learnings and his legacy over 30 years in the financial market. Everyone from the Prime Minister to a regular punter on the street asked for his opinion. So I'm quite excited to pay that tribute to him on that show. We're going to reach out overseas. We've already done an interview with a fund manager called Laura Geritz, who's very bullish on India. She's put 30% of her fund into India. She has some very good insights into which are the good promoters, which are the good management companies in India. The one that I'm really excited about, which Nimesh helped me get, was what I call a master of the universe, David Rubenstein. I think he got founder of Carlyle Group. He's very philanthropic, done so many great things, written a great book. I'm very excited to interview him for the show. This time, instead of just interviewing people on the street, we're also trying to broaden our search and look at people in venture capital, look at people in other areas of investing. So I think another name that we're excited to interview is a gentleman called Harsha Raghavan, who runs Convergent Finance. Impeccable track record, UC Berkeley, Stanford, Goldman Sachs. Now he runs his own fund. So I'm hoping to get some great insights like I got over the last 15 years from this next batch of wizards.
Ramesh, one thing that I've learned working on your show is a rapid fire that you do with most of your guests. So we thought we'll reverse it and do something with you today. So
that's highly unfair.
I hope you won't mind. So we'll start with the rapid fire. Quick questions. Won't ask you too many questions there. Okay. So, Ramesh, the first one. One thing that maybe, say, if I want to ask you about Nifty from here, 20,000 first or 16,000 first, what would be your answer?
The higher one.
The higher one? Oh,
yes.
Wow.
Okay, that's bullish, Ramesh Damani.
Absolutely.
Technology stocks or PSU stocks, what do you prefer?
Actually, like both the groups, but right now I'm more invested in PSU stocks.
Okay. You want to leave wealth for your next generation, or you prefer they earn it on their own?
Oh, God.
Tricky one. Watch what you say.
Yeah, I know. I think my grandchildren will be watching me. I think we should leave something for them because, they should know their grandfather, but not so much that they don't want to do anything with their lives. So I would hope they would have productive lives and would also have that ambition to earn money because it's the ambition of a young man, and it should be the ambition of a young man to earn his wealth, to see how he stacks up in the world. So, hopefully we'll give a lot of philanthropy, but also leave some for the grandchildren.
It's a tough balance, right? A balancing
very
act.
Tough balance. Very tough balance. The minute I have my grandchildren, my arm, Veer and Arna, I'm all over them and I want to do whatever they want. So.
I'm sure. What about gold or real estate, the asset class that you prefer, apart from equities, of course?
Probably real estate. Gold is, Sonia, inflation last year was a 40 years high, 8%. Gold was down 10%. Yeah. I mean, that tells you something that people have moved on from gold.
Ramesh, Warren Buffett or Peter Lynch, which investment thesis you'll follow, or investment style you'll follow?
I get up in the morning and look at Warren Buffett's photograph probably.
Exactly.
So that's your answer.
Okay.
And your big investment bet for 2030?
You know, my big investment call or bet is that if you remain invested, you will compound money. And I think that's what I always try to do. I mean, I always tell the young people who come to me is that you want to try and double your money every 3 years. And if you do that, you're going to be rich at the end of the 30-year period that we're talking about. So the investment call is the same. Remain the same, buy great businesses, and you're playing a long ball. You know, you might have more fun trying to hit it out for a 6, but the people who really make wealth compound it over long periods of time.
And what is, I mean, all of us have regrets, right? But what is your biggest life regret?
My biggest life regret, Sonia, is very simple. You know, people call me veteran investor, old investor. My other friends are called billionaire investors. And I wish I was a billionaire. And I mean that in the nicest sense of the term. I don't mean that I need more money. I don't. But money is how you measure success in the financial markets. And the opportunity was there for me. I'm not saying that if there wasn't the opportunity. The markets have been extraordinary. The index is up 1,000x, whatever. So the opportunity was there for me. And it was, I think, perhaps my own upbringing or my middle-class background that I didn't make it to the level of some of my friends. But I hope my son does.
But that comparison is endless, right? I mean, greed is endless. And like they say, comparison is the thief of joy. So you should never feel that regret.
No, you know, it's not regret in the bad sense of the term, that I need the money or I wish I had more money out there. But you want to mark yourself against the guy who won the Oscar or won the gold medal in the Olympics, you know. And why not me? I mean, it's a very good motivation for myself. I realize my shortcomings, and then I can hopefully teach the new generation that you also need the magic like Rakesh of thinking big. He was income taxpayer's commissioner's son. He started with 5,000 rupees. He made $5 billion. That's a compound rate of 70%. We both saw the same stocks. You know, what was, you know, his dream, his ambition, his fire was much bigger than mine. And I sometimes regret that I didn't have that kind of fire.
You know, since you mentioned your children, your grandchildren, and it is Children's Day,
Yes.
I wanted to ask you, what is the one piece of advice that you want to leave for the generation after you?
I think what I learned in terms of financial terms, of course, take care of your health, you know, or take care of your grandfather, obviously. Please do that. But, you know.
You have high hopes.
I hope not. I hope not.
I'm sorry, but we just wanted to surprise you, Ramesh. So,
What a pleasant surprise.
Happy Children's Day to you, Ramesh.
Oh,
Hi, Ashok. Hi,
this
thank
is
you
a
for
joyous
joining.
guest for me in life. Thank you, guys.
So he was just telling us how he wants his grandchildren to take care of his grandfather. And are they going to do that?
I hope so. I hope so. He's taught them some stuff.
Oh my God. I couldn't have planned a better surprise for me.
I know, I want to ask him. I want to ask him. Acha, Ahan, just tell me one thing. Which is the 8th wonder of the world? Tell me. Tell. You know this?
Yes.
Well,
What's the answer?
bolo. Oh,
Come on, say it, son.
he knows
Say
it.
it's
You know, he
compounding.
knows it.
Come on.
Ahan, tell now.
What's the 8th wonder of the world?
I love how their personalities are exactly the opposite.
Compounding.
Oh, she said compounding, the 8th wonder of the world. This is what he learned.
Ashok, how are you feeling about the 3 generations right here?
Amazing, amazing.
What a moment you created.
It
Thank you so
is
much.
an absolutely fabulous
sweet of
moment.
you.
And you know, you were trying to tell us, right, about what you want to leave for the generation in front of you. And here they are. So go
I'm not
ahead.
leave everything to them. They have me around my little finger, so it'd be a no contest right now, you know.
But
No.
Ramesh, it's an...
Veer, you know, I'll ask you one question.
Yeah.
What is the investment rule that Dadwas taught you? Huh? Tell me.
Compounding.
Compounding and?
Okay, Veer, come on. Why don't you see the...
Ask him whose bust is in the office of his dad. That's the question to ask him.
Veer, come. Huh? Hey, tell na.
Veer.
Veer.
Okay. What are the rules Dadwas taught you?
Okay, what are the...
Come on.
Okay, you
Come
tell.
on. I'll give you a surprise. Come on.
Take this.
Come on. Okay, take the mic.
Take the mic and say.
Okay, I'll ask you the question.
Yes.
What are the rules Dadwas taught you?
Rule number 1.
Rule number 1.
Rule number
Tell.
1? Rule number 1? What? Rule number 1?
And that
Don't lose money. Huh? That,
And that
Rule number 1, don't lose money. Rule number 2, remember rule number 1.
This is an absolute pleasure, you know, to
this is
see
like-
3 generations here, right
generations of-
here.
Yeah.
my church.
Huh? Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So, Ramesh, you know, just before we end the show, I mean, here you have your son, your grandson, your granddaughter.
I'm blessed.
You're absolutely blessed, right? So you were telling us about that one investment advice. You told us what the advice would be for your grandchildren. Your son is right here. You can advise him in front of us.
You know,
Very bad, Papa.
it's
I'm
so
very
funny.
Papa, I want to drink.
Through the pandemic, he's been back for 5-7 years. We developed a closer and closer relationship with each other. And instead of me telling him, he's pushing me. You know, he knows my regrets and he knows my positioning. So, amazingly enough, he's pushing me now to take bigger positions, to take bigger bets, to have more convictions in my own trades. So it's been wonderful. Rather than me telling him, he's been reaching out and pushing me in the right direction. So I'm eternally grateful for his support.
You know, you told us, you started by saying that my biggest regret is maybe I'm not a billionaire or as much as my peers. You have your billions right here. Your wealth is right here. So happy Children's Day to all of you, and thank you for
Thanks,
joining
Ashok.
us
Thanks,
in the
Ramesh ji.
studio. And
You cannot count the blessings I have.
Absolutely.
I'm a billionaire many times over. Thank you.
it's priceless. Ramesh, and all the best for your new series. Thanks a lot for joining in. And you folks, stay tuned. 21st November is when Wizards of the Street rolls out. Keep watching CNBC TV 18 until then. Thanks a lot for watching.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.